what are we doing today?
Rock crawling.
Rock crawling? What trail are we on?
I forgot.
And so today we are in Calamity Canyon here in Montrose, Colorado. This is a fun trail with a lot of different optional lines through it. It has 3 separate different exits. And I've seen a lot of different videos online of people coming through here, and I'm not sure everybody's aware of all the different exits, so I'm just kind of covering them all in this one, just kind of show people what's all in this trail. It goes up through a canyon. Most of the trail's not too bad, but the exits are where the hardest parts are. They continue to change over time and get harder. Some get harder, some get easier. What do you think, Maddie? Maddie doesn't know. It's hunting in Columbus from Calamity. So this is the first optional loop out of Calamity. We start going up and you kind of go through a narrow section between a couple trees. That's a little bit of a steep climb. And then you go up to another kind of a waterfall that has a bit of a wedge. And so you can see on the driver's side there's a little bit of a ramp, and then the passenger side is a pretty deep kind of rock wall. So I just kind of split the difference between the two and go right up and out. Maddie, you're okay. Dad wouldn't keep you in for anything too So after you do the first exit, you drop back into the trail, and then you work your way up for a while, and then you come up to another Y in the trail. And at this Y in the trail, I like to go right first. It takes you up to one of the optional exits. You go right up through one of the optional exits, and then you can drop back into the trail and run the other exit. And this is what I was talking about when I watch these other videos and other people who come to town. I don't think they realize that. They always just run the one exit. But it's a fun way to kind of make the trail a little bit longer and a little bit harder. Because a big rainstorm came through here last year and kind of changed this trail a bit. And some of these holes got bigger from this rainstorm. So I haven't been up here for a little while, so just checking it out. So right here is where the trail takes a Y. And then I go right, and then you go up through some kind of nuisance rock. It's a fun little rock section, and then you get to the exit, to the optional exit.
So after we take a right, you get up to a fun rock section. There's multiple lines through these rocks, and I'm taking kind of the far right line, trying to get that front passenger tire up over a rock. However, it doesn't pull the rear of the car through the rocks. So what I do is I kind of keep backing up and trying to reposition. However, what I end up doing is putting it into rear only. Putting my transfer case into rear only and giving it gas and using my hydraulic ram to push my rear of the car into a better position to drive up forward through the rocks. I guess you could say this is like a poor man's rear steer. So that's one way that you can kind of push the rear into a better place to climb up through those rocks.
That spot, I had to put it in rear only and slide the rear.
And here's another rock section, just working my way up through. Once again, there's a left line and this is kind of the right line with the bigger rocks. And it's just a fun little optional stuff to work through on your way up to the exit. So this is the optional exit too. So there's a lot of different lines up this, and basically it's a big bunch of ledges. And as I start to drive up, this is the main line up through here. There's several different lines that you can do through this section, but I'm kind of doing the more traveled one. And what I do, instead of trying to take on that entire cliff at once, there's a lower rock that I get the passenger side up on. And what that does is it kind of helps pull me up that big ledge. So you can see here I'm trying to get the passenger side of the car to climb that. However, it doesn't and the front slips off. So what I have to do is back up and reposition and try it again. And I just kind of keep trying to reposition till the passenger rear climbs that lower ledge. And it's starting to climb. It's looking like it wants to go. And once it climbs that, then my driver's side can take climbing up that big wall. This is the way I go up this section without having to stack rocks or anything. You just have to hit the point, the corner of that lower rock to get it to climb up. This is Chris. Chris is traveling through on his road trip across the country, and he just asked to show him around the Montrose trails. So first trail is taking him on is Calamity, because this is one of my favorites. Chris is trying to get that back passenger tire to climb up on that lower rock, and if you don't do it, if it doesn't do it, it kind of spins you a little bit passenger. So as he's getting it to start climbing up, he's kind of got to stay on the gas a little bit, and all of a sudden it bites and goes right up.
Perfect.
Once you get out of the optional exit 2, you can just stay left and follow along the top, kind of through the trees, and it drops you back into the canyon. There's a BLM, Bureau Land Management sign that points you in the direction that says back to Calamity. And then there's a couple little drops that you go down that just kind of can catch you off guard if you're going too fast. But it drops you right back into the main part of the trail. Here we have an undercut ledge that what I like to do is put it in the front only to kind of pivot the car into better position, and then it kind of spins me into a better position to climb up this ledge. And what I want to do is just climb up it to where my back rear tire isn't completely undercut. As you can see, that ledge is pretty good size. Those are 42-inch tires, and you just want to not bite off too much of it at once. I believe this part of the trail has now become the hardest part of the entire Calamity section, which is funny because last year this wasn't anything that you would ever even stop at until we had a big rainstorm last summer. It kind of washed all the rocks out of this and kind of made it a big hole. And as you can see, this rock's getting really undercut and kind of chewed out. I tried to take it on as a V-notch, however, I wasn't really able to. It's just so kind of undercut right there. My tire was going under the rock. So I kept trying to reposition and find a way to maybe split the difference and climb up through here. As you can see, my tire just keeps getting under that undercut. And I keep trying different, just moving around a little bit, and it ends up slamming me down into the rocks. I'm getting all kind of bound up in here. I end up backing back out of this section and just kind of staying further left and going over top of the big rock. That ended up working out a lot better for me. Sometimes you just gotta keep trying different things till you can figure out a way through there. So here we get up to the main exit of Calamity, and what there is there's a left line, a middle line, and kind of a right line all along this cliff edge, and you can kind of pick any of the ones you want to go up. Sometimes I like to try them all and just mess around on them all, but today I'm taking the far left line. This one works out really well for my wheelbase. It's one of those obstacles where 2 inches different in wheelbase and all of a sudden you get hung up and can't get up and over it. But for mine, on this day, it was kind of the perfect combination. As Chris comes up, he's got a little bit longer wheelbase than I do, and that left line just didn't work out for him. He was ending up getting hung up on his belly. So we tried a few of the different lines just to see which was going to work best for him. Sometimes you just got to keep trying different lines and angles to see what's going to work. Chris has a pretty cool rig. It's basically a Ultra 4 4500 class build that he's using more as a trail car these days. It's got a 5.3 liter LS with a turbo on it, and it sounds good when he gets on that throttle. Chris just keeps working, trying different angles, different lines on here, just to see what's going to work with this wheelbase. This is one of those sections, like I said, where a couple inches of wheelbase makes all the difference. Each time it looks like he's so close. However, just gets hung up just a tiny bit. So then he opts for the far right line. This is a pretty cool line. I used to do this one more often. However, now my belly gets stuck on it. So we'll see how it works out for him. Chris is so close right here. He's gonna back up, back off it, and give it another shot.